Welcome to Shomar Shov on the Dash. Your sponsor, Lo Nishma Sam Yaakov Le'Abbas Yitzchok. We're holding in Makos Daf Yud Gimel. The Gemara in the top of the Beis says that the difference, according to Rabbi Akiva, between Chayve Krisus and Chayve Mises Beis Din is that Teshuvah works only for Chayve Krisus. Person does Teshuvah, he will not get punished with Kares. But Chayve Mises Beis Din, Teshuvah does not work. Shimasu Teshuvah ein Beis Din Shalmata Moichadim Lehem. Teshuvah does not work for Beis Din Shamata. There's a fascinating teshuvah of the Noida B'Yudo in Madur Kamar Chaim Simon Lamedei. The Noida B'Yudo speaks about somebody who was asked. He was asked a question about one who was mezaneh with Eishes Ish for a tkufa of 3 years. So the first part of the teshuvah is: does he have to tell the husband that he had a relationship with his wife? That's the first part of the teshuvah. The second part of the teshuvah is, what about his teshuvah? How can this person do teshuvah to rectify the terrible sins that he did? The one who's asking the question says this person right now is a big Talmid Chacham, and he sits and learns, and he's very, very weak, and he wants to do Darkei teshuvah. But as many of the Sfarim bring, the teshuvah that a person has to do is called teshuvah samishkol. A person has to fast, a person has to do sigufim, a person has to have some yisurim. But what can he do for 3 years of Averis that he did? So the Noida B'Yudo first of all starts, it says that discussing this inyan of Sigufim is not something he wants to do because it's not clear, it's not brought down in the Poskim, it's not brought down in the Gemara. And the Sfarim that do bring it, it says the Noida B'Yudo are not reliable, so he doesn't want to really discuss it. But because this person is asking this shayla and he really wants to know what to do, so you'll tell him, this person did a terrible Averis, and if he wants to rely on the Sigufim, he's not going to be able to. 3 years of Averis that he has to come and correct, it's something that he has to do Teshuvah Samishkol, which means the way against the Averis, the Yisurim that he should have, there is no end to it. But says the Noida B'Yudo, Teshuvah, the Ikar Teshuvah is not Sigufim, it's not Yisurim. The Ikar Teshuvah is the lave that a person comes and is Chayzer B'Teshuvah. Ikar Teshuvah yazivas ches vidu dvorim belev nishbar charoto belev shalom. His karvus v'islavus lehevus aboyre. Just to get close to loving HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And he brings a raya. What's the raya that Ikar Teshuvah is a leiv? Is our Gemara. Our Gemara says that someone who does Teshuvah, Beis Din Shemata won't accept it. It says why not? The simple understanding is because you never know if he did Teshuvah or not. But says Noida B'Yudo, if a person did Sigufim, we have Eidim, this person did Tanesim, he didn't eat for days and days. He caused himself a lot of Yisurim. So l'chur, he brought himself to the Teshuvah. So he says, why not? If Beis Din know they did all the Sigufim, and he did the Tikkun Teshuvah Samishkol to what he did, so why did he punish him going forward? Says Noida B'Yudo, you see from here, all these Yisurim, all these Sigufim, that's not the Teshuvah. So a person can have all that, but maybe in his heart, he's still holding on to the Chet. And it could be that person had no Sigufim at all, and he did Teshuvah Gemurah on his life. The Ikar Teshuvah is in the heart, and that's something that Beis Din Shamata cannot determine. And that's why we don't accept it. Beis Din Shamata say, we know the Ma'aseh, we don't know what's going on in the heart, and all the Sigufim and Yisurim are nothing that we could take into account. And the Noida B'Yudo concludes, he says, if you tell me that Teshuvah works, so Batlu Kol Dinim Mises Beis Din. Nobody can be punished, because maybe he did Teshuvah. Ma'aseh for Noida B'Yudo, the reason Teshuvah is not accepted in Beis Din Shemata is because we don't really know if he did Teshuvah or not. But the truth is, it's a chakira of a Yosef Engel over here in the Gilyon Hashas. He asks, what's the reason Beis Din Shemata don't accept Teshuvah? Is it because we don't know if he did Teshuvah? Or even if we know clearly he did Teshuvah, still Beis Din Shemata don't accept it. So he brings a very long arichos about it, and he brings many rayas. And one of the rayas he brings is the Chavas Yair. Chavas Yair says that we know that when a goy has a misas Beis Din, even if he did a gerus, he still is chayav misa. There's cases he's still chayav misa. Says the Chavas Yair, why doesn't a gerus help? Says the Chavas Yair, because gerus is like Teshuvah. The same way Teshuvah doesn't help, so gerus doesn't help. Says the Gilyon Hashas, what do you see from here? You see that Teshuvah that doesn't help is not because we don't know he did Teshuvah. Because by gerus we know he did a gerus. But even if we do know about the Teshuvah will not help. And what's the reason? So he says this to the Maharal in the Siva Teshuvah Perek Beis that says that Teshuvah is only Klapei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has a special chesed in the world that when someone did something wrong, he could come and rectify that and fix it. But down here in this world, Beis Shemata, for a human being, Teshuvah doesn't help. How can you fix what you did wrong? He brings the Gemara that says, they asked the Chachma, what should Choitim do? It says the Chachma answers, Chatoim Tirdavra. They asked the Nevi'im, they asked everybody. They said, what can you do? Once someone did something wrong, there's nothing to do. Only when they asked HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he said, I'm going to accept him in Teshuvah. Meaning Teshuvah belongs to HaKadosh Baruch Hu only, and therefore Beis Shemata cannot accept Teshuvah. So Yosef Engel tells us that Teshuvah is not accepted Beis Shemata, not because the Teshuvah, we don't know if he did Teshuvah, but because Teshuvah is not an accepted fix in Beis Shemata, and not like it's mashma in the Noida B'Yehuda. Anyone who wants to join the Shomach Shava email us to what to go, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.